This is Amala. She was on Jubilee and I reacted to it, made a video with Spaceman, and she's supposedly anti-feminist, but her talking points in the video didn't really say so, so I don't know. So the fact that now I see this is her real outlet and she does have these wild takes, I'm surprised she didn't really fight back much in Jubilee video unless they cut out most of her takes. I don't know, but yeah, she's on she's I think she's right. I don't know. Wokest film of the year. Let's see if she's spitting. Amala, the girl from Jubilee. So.
Hey guys, it's Amala coming at you from a tree stump in the city of London, and I've decided to film this video because I just wanted to watch the Barbie movie, and
the reason why I filmed that clip, I'm doing that because transform, like, I don't know, I don't want to, like, there's been a big debacle about like react content, but I mean, I'm probably fine. I'm a small streamer, but like, you know, I kind of want to be engagement looking at it, so all right. But all right, let's see.
Hi guys, it's Amala coming at you from a tree stump in the city of London, and I've decided to film this video because I just wanted to watch the Barbie movie, and it is probably the wokest film of 2023. Let's talk about it.
Why is she outside though? What an intro.
Guys, before we get into this video, please like and subscribe. I want as many people to find this channel as possible so you know what to do. Now, yes, I had to come to you from this park just to talk about the Barbie movie, which I just took time to see. I sat through it in its entirety, and I think it is the wokest film of 2023. Now, before we get into plot summary on this film, I want you guys to remember the original message of Barbie, that young girls and women can do anything that they want.
Hey, girls can do anything. Right, Barbie? Right, Barbie?
Barbie has thousands of different careers.
Cindy, I saw it last weekend. Loser, it's good. I mean, it was a good movie, but there's some things that I don't like about it. But let's see what she has to say.
She shows up in the world in 100 different ways, and she's encouraging young girls to keep that mindset, and always has encouraged that mindset within young women. By all reasonable markers, we would call the original Barbie a feminist, at least a first or second wave feminist. But there's been much debate about this film in particular. Amy Schumer said that the original take of this film was not going to be feminist enough. There's been much back and forth on this film.
I actually, when I got asked the other day, like, is Barbie a feminist? I was like, well, she's actually like the level up from that, because if you look at Barbie Land at the beginning, like the Barbies are on top and the Kens are kind of disregarded. So I was like, well, that's not equal.
No, right.
So
right.
whatever the opposite of misogynist is, actually Barbie's like. So towards the
a
end, when they
feminist.
balance things out, then it might be feminist.
Greta Gerwig and Noah Baumbach have written this version of Barbie that's now in theaters.
I think in a lot of other hands, a Barbie movie would remain surface level, but I knew Greta was going to have a lot to say, and I knew she was going to kind of Trojan horse a lot of big
I've never heard that
issues
term.
within a very fun world.
Now let's talk about the plot. Spoiler alert. We start off in Barbie Land, where all of the Barbies are living and all of the Kens are, shall we say...
I don't... You see, I'm literally playing a game. I'm not doing any ads, so sorry if you're getting ads.
So upon some investigation, Barbie finds out that whoever owns her in the real world is having these thoughts, and they're in some way, through some portal between the Barbie land and the real world, coming to affect her.
Concept,
and that's why she's
honestly.
thinking about death and despair and all of these horrific thoughts, and suddenly
am I getting
her feet
drift
move from that high heel position to flat-footed. So we know that there is a problem. What she's told is that she needs to go out into the real world, find her owner, discover what the issue is, to somehow repair this portal between Barbie Land and the real world. So that's where she sets off. And she goes not alone. Ken goes with her into the real world. Now, upon entering the real world, many things are discovered. One, that men are all sexual predators, I guess, which you'll see in watching this film.
That was super
Ken and
like
Barbie
over the top. Why am I getting drift?
In different directions. Barbie sets out to find her owner, who's played by America Ferrera, who also has an insufferable, feminist, anti-capitalist daughter, and we'll get to that. And Ken goes around and discovers what the real world is like. He realizes that the real world is a patriarchy, that it is run by men, and he's so excited about this idea. Because back in Barbie Land, he feels almost forgotten. People aren't looking at him, people aren't paying attention to him, so he has a brilliant thought. He's going to bring the patriarchy to Barbie Land. They're handing the men beers, they're acting subservient to them, they're
Really? Oh. 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 Ha ha ha. So she had one good role at least. What's her name? Angela or Ariana? That's so funny, bro. I did not know.
Doing whatever it is they ask. They've lost all of their intelligence. And Barbie is, of course, very upset about this. So they decide we need to fix Barbie Land. They end up deprogramming a lot of the Barbies through these radical speeches about feminism and how hard it is to be a woman and how dumb and horrible men are. And they rise up again, pit the Kens against each other. And while the Kens are fighting, they restore Barbie Land back to its matriarchal glory.
It was so true, the method they were using. To like oh my god, I was like, bro, this is like, they acted like they liked the Kens, act interested but not really be interested, and then go for their friend or something like that, or talk about it with their guy. Like, bro, that part I was like, oh my god, they're doing real life. They're doing real life. Yeah, I was bad at that part too. I did not like that. I did not like that part. One, that it's actually real, and two, that they did that. That's crazy. I hated that part, bro. I mean, it was smart to like, in a grand scale, to get Barbie Land back, make Kens hate each other. Yeah, on paper that's cool, but the method they used, that was crazy. Yeah, true, EJ.
The very end of this film, Barbie decides, I don't know who I am anymore, but I want to discover who I am. And she wants to go back out into the real world. So that's how the movie ends. Barbie takes on the name Barbara and goes off into the real world to have an adventure. Now, as far as my review goes, I think first it's important to talk about the positives in this film, because there were some positives. I think Margot Robbie and Ryan Gosling did a great job in the respective roles of Barbie and Ken. They were very animated and fun. It was entertaining. They had very vivid emotions. Ryan Gosling, throughout multiple points in the movie, sings and dances. The cinematography and set design in this movie is absolutely beautiful. Yeah. Whoever was responsible for that deserves a round of applause. The movie is truly a brilliant thing to behold if you're just looking at the set design. The costuming was also really fun and vivid and brilliant, and you felt like when you were in Barbie Land that you were actually there, like it was truly a world of its own. I myself was not too entertained with the jokes or the comedic factor of this film, but I will say the entire theater for the most part was full, and everybody there was loving it, cracking up, applauding, cheering. There was a lot of energy within the movie theater, which is fun. Now, let's talk about what I perceive to be negative about this film, and I do have quite a long list. First of all, you might think that a Barbie movie is something that you should take children to.
Is this a kids movie, or is it not a kids movie?
It's low-key not.
This is such like a thing.
It's low-key not a kids movie. I'm not gonna lie.
It's for everyone, but it was literally crafted to be for everyone. Like this, Greta said from the beginning, like this is a big party and everyone is invited.
I would not recommend that. It is certainly not a film that I would show to my future children, whether they are boys or girls. The overall messaging of this film is—
it's more of a like 18 and up, actually. Or 17, but like it really is like, you can watch it together if you're 16, 15, I guess, but like, will you get all of it? Like, what really threw me off the most, and it really stuck with me, is when the daughter called Barbie a fascist. I said, bro, like, we're really using these terms in the Barbie movie? Like, they could have picked another word than fascist. It's like, what's say? It's like, blah, 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 you fascist. I said, dude. Why would they say that? Like, that's just so extreme. Kim was ugly to you? You're lying, bro. Kim was ugly? What? We were talking about genitals, too. There's some other adult jokes. I don't remember, but yeah.
Is not a healthy message for young people, or really anybody. Plus, mixed in throughout the horrible messaging about patriarchy is a lot of sexual innuendo, a little bit of bad language as well. Now let's talk about the spooky patriarchy. It is a massive through line throughout this entire film. In fact, the word patriarchy is unironically mentioned in this movie more times than I could count. The entire plot of this film is contingent upon the belief that the real world is in fact a patriarchy, that men are constantly running and controlling things, even though they're not that bright and they don't really have good character. Guys, I kid you not, there are multiple speeches, I mean direct speeches in this film about how horrible it is to be a woman, all the different strifes that we go through, what it is to live under a patriarchy, how horrible and unintelligent and useless men are in the real world.
Your entire life is garbage.
It is unbelievable. And of course, they spin us the message that the world should in fact be a matriarchy, like Barbie Land, where women run everything, because you couldn't possibly have a centrist mindset that men and women complement each other, have different strengths and weaknesses, and in fact should coexist in a world where they both rule. I found myself many times during this film looking at the women and thinking, do they think women are dumb? Because that's truly how they presented them. The women in this film were ditzy, pathetic, lacked agency, or at least were trying to spin the idea that we lack agency. In fact, at one point in this film, America Ferrera says, quote, "It is impossible to be a woman," end quote. Think about that.
What was everyone's reaction to you saying that on set? And what was it like for you saying it?
I think it really landed with the crew too. Like, I had a lot of crew members.
I get what she was saying, like, double-sided. Like, in that part, she had good points. It's like go for everyone, right? Like, be, they were saying be assertive but not rude, be nice but not easy, be caring but not too much. Like, overall, it was pretty good. Not a joke, but a little bit like a slick comment, like, oh, like, it's impossible to be a football player. No, but it's work. It goes into it. Really, but you say that, like, but you can definitely win. Definitely strategies, what you can do about this and this. But like, when you think, oh, it's impossible to be a woman. Yeah. Like, it was a little joke, but like, if you take it literal, then it's like, yeah, no, then you're wrong. You're like, oh, Tim, how's the movie? I'm like, it's all right. It's like, I have the same sentiment. Like, it was good. It was goofy. I love the goofiness of it. Set design was great, but they hit you over the head with so many like political things. I'm like, bro, come on now. You could have made it broad. You didn't have to make it political. You didn't have to go so over exaggerated with like the real world and Barbie. And like, I was like, dude, you don't you don't trust my tone because the previous video. I mean, I'm criticizing it. I'm not saying, like, you know what? Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. Okay. I'll never like being a man again. Being a man is... Oh, I have notes. Being a man is bad, and I will always have put... Yeah, I just won't show masculinity. I will, always be second. Put them first, and I surely apologize. Women, I love you. Every form of female, I love you. I will never, ever, ever want to be masculine again. I want to live in Barbie land. I am sorry that...
There's also a quote at the end of the film where one of the Barbies says that in the future, Kens will have as much power in Barbie land as women have in the real world. And this is supposed to be a ha-ha moment because women truly have no power in the real world. And we're always stuck under the thumb of our oppressive, patriarchal men.
That's
so not true.
No, I get it, yeah.
And of course, I must point out the irony of this being a feminist film while casting trans actresses to play women. Now let's move on from the women to the men in...
Bro, why would you say that? It doesn't matter, bro. But so what if they're trans? All right. That's one L from you.
This film, who are largely playing Kens or the executives in the real world. There is not a single quality man in this entire movie. They are
that ditzy, is true.
They are feminine beyond belief, and they lack good character and strong morals
is true.
All across the board. But that's exactly what the movie wants you to think about real men. You get the men in the real world who are sexually harassing Barbie. One of them even assaults her as she steps into the real world of Los Angeles. Angeles,
that was
California.
pretty
You get
OD,
the
bro.
executives
That's
who are
not.
constantly belittling women while also being really unintelligent themselves. If this movie wants to leave you with any message, it is the message that men suck.
He deserves it because she's Barbie and he's just Ken, and he's totally fine with that. Forever.
We should hate them and that we should live in a matriarchy. And they must
Drift.
mention the dynamic between men and women in this film. We all know that Barbie and Ken come together as a couple. For many of us, they were meant to be in love, this perfect pair of woman and man. In this movie, none of the Barbies are really in love with the Kens. In fact, the only point in this movie where Barbies actually show romantic affection towards their Kens is when they are brainwashed by the patriarchy. And just something that I thought was a funny note, this movie clearly hates capitalism, but also has within it very poorly done product placement for the 2024 Chevy Blazer. But guys, I think you get the gist. I could go on and on about this film and all the different contradictions and all the different poor messaging, but I'll leave you with this. The film wants to let you know that it hates patriarchy, it hates men, it hates beauty standards, it hates capitalism, it hates Eurocentrism, and most of all, it hates Barbie and Mattel, the company responsible for the creation of Barbie, even though that's exactly what the film is meant to be about. As I said before, the audience in this theater really enjoyed the film. I was not with them on that one, and maybe it's because I'm sensitive to wokeness and super cynical, but to me, this movie just wasn't it. There could have been a much better storyline, a more appropriate storyline for especially the young women in particular who are going to want to see this film. And overall, the messaging was a complete miss on what the actual world is like, at least through the lens that I'm looking at it. But I'm sure this film is going to make a lot of money. All the theaters that I looked at were
like 80
completely
million
sold
so
out
far?
for many of the showtimes of this film. So many women in particular are talking about going to see it. Margot Robbie says this is going to be a billion-dollar film, and I'm not sure that she's going to be wrong on that. If you went and watched the film, you let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I would love to hear it. I think they've completely ruined what was the original message of Barbie, that women truly can do anything, and that we're not in a patriarchal system being held down under the thumb of the white heterosexual man. That's about it. As always, I encourage healthy debate in the comments, so duke it out, but do so respectfully. And I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks, Amala. I think they could have done the same exact plot. Bro, why am I getting... I'm done. I'm literally quitting this game. I think they could have done the same exact plot, but have the tropes not so exaggerated. Whereas the fact that that's what they want you to believe. They beat you over the head of like all these political beliefs, feminism, and all that. And again, you can have... I'm not saying you can't have any of that, bro. Like, I'm not saying that, oh, it's too woke, like, it's like, I don't care, bro. I mean, I'm glad they're doing that, but make it tasteful. It was very, very, very preachy. Those are my thoughts on Barbie movie. Well, my thoughts on her thoughts on the Barbie movie. And yeah, I kind of agree with her statements. Let me know what y'all think. Yeah, the only one I didn't agree with, EJ, like how you said, the trans actress can't be in the Barbie movie because they're trans. How are you gonna preach feminism and there's a trans actress? Like, dude. Did anybody know? Like, it doesn't matter. It literally is like not relevant. But anyway, let me know what y'all think of this video. Shout out Amala. Want to be canceled? Not really. I still want to grow, bro. Like, I don't want to grow in the wrong direction. It's like, if I get canceled right now, yeah, I'll technically grow, but it'll be like not a path I want to go. I don't want to grow like authentically and like real without like hate. If it happens, it happens. I mean, whatever. But I'm not. If I really wanted to, I would be as outlandish as possible. But no, I play Street Fighter 6 Guile. It's not a path to get canceled. But the best thing about Barbie. Ooh-wee. Fire. And she's not like American, she's Australian. Clap it up. Yeah, there's criticisms to be had, there's opinions to be shared. But now if you just saying I don't like it because it's woke with no argument, then yeah, give your argument. You can't blindly like it. You can't blindly hate it. Like, why do you like it? Why do you hate it? Or what can? Because again, I don't hate it. I think it's a good movie overall. Again, really, really fun, really goofy, great quality, good acting. Like, it had a good message, but it's just like little things that just made like it left a bad taste in my mouth.